Have you ever sat down and thought to yourself, wow, I wish I could make a free throw, but backwards? Well,
Hi, this is Tyler Holly, and I'll be teaching you how to make the backwards free throw.
while the backwards free throw might get you benched for the rest of the season if you try it during a game, it can prove to be quite the effective trick shot during a game of horse or just to impress your friends. There are three main steps to shooting the perfect backwards free throw. These steps include proper alignment or positioning, shooting form, and last but not least, consistency, which is key. The first of these steps is proper alignment. One of the biggest parts of the step is centered around having some self-awareness regarding your position on the court. I know it might feel a little strange not having the backboard in view at all times, but nevertheless, it is still important that you make necessary adjustments as if it is. So, once you have your sense of awareness or position, the next step is all about foot positioning. Many courts have a marker on the free throw line indicating where the center of the line is. But if yours is not, which in my case it doesn't, then you're going to want to take as best of an estimate as you can by simply looking at the center of the hoop from underneath it and walking a straight line out from the center of the hoop to the free throw line, as I do here. Now, from that center position, all turned around, you're going to want to put your right foot on the left edge of that center line if you're right-handed. Then you're going to want to do that, but vice versa if you're left-handed. So, left foot on the right edge of the center line. Lastly, to complete this step, you're going to need to focus on the alignment of your shooting arm and eye. Both your shooting arm and eye should be in direct alignment with your dominant foot. So in this case, it would be my right arm, right eye, and right foot, which should all be in alignment. The second step is all about your shooting form. To get things started, we will first focus on the initial motion of the shot. All this really entails is ensuring that your shooting arm is following the path set by the alignment of your eye and foot that we talked about earlier, and that is doing it through the entire range of motion. The next part of your shooting form relates to your follow-through. Differing a good amount from a regular shot, your follow-through should end at the point where your fingers are pointed directly at the ceiling or close to it. It is also important that you let the ball roll off your fingers, as this helps to create some necessary backspin on it. The final part of this step relates to arc and power placed on the ball. This is a prime example of what you don't want to do, as the arc is too low and the power is too high. While this differs from person to person, as some are stronger and taller than others, it is still an extremely significant factor to take into account, as it is what will determine whether or not that ball goes in. This is a perfect example of what you want to do. And just like that, EA Sports, it's in the hoop. Yeah. Alright, on to the third and final step of the perfect backwards free throw, which all boils down to consistency. Every great basketball player knows that the key to any free throw shot is consistency, so it's important that you develop a routine and stick to it. The same principles apply to a backwards free throw as a normal one. So this can either mean mimicking professional players like Stephen Curry or Kyrie Irving, or it can mean coming up with your own few little moves that you do every time you get to the line. Consistency is key and will help you develop a much more accurate shot over time. To briefly recap, in order to achieve the perfect backwards free throw, one must follow three basic steps. These include proper alignment with your foot, shooting arm, and eye, a shooting form that covers a full range of motion of your shot, including the follow-through and the power placed on the ball, and lastly, but not least, consistency, which includes developing a routine and sticking to it.
Thanks for listening, and I hope these tips will work well for you.